Peace be upon you. I'm Samir. It's nice to meet you all. I think every one of you thought today about the topic of this speech, the religion of freedom, Islam, the religion that appeared when the world were engulfed by dictatorship, racism, and ignorance. Started calling for a quite different ideas. Islam started calling for freedom, equality, and a unifying root for the whole humanity. This makes Islam the most revolutionary liberation call, or this is what Muslims think. Other opinions claim that Muslims are deceived because Islam is the religion of freedom and what they think. Why Islam didn't mention a definitive text in the prohibition of slavery? To answer this question, we will go back through history before Islam. Slaves before Islam were considered as objects or subhumans that were created to be slaves. They have no rights but to eat as animals. Therefore, masters were not feel any kind of bandages of conscience after torturing slaves, assigning them dirty and hard works, or even killing them. For example, in Rome, there was something called gladiator fights, which were ceremonies where masters ordered their slaves as a kind of fun for masters to fight each other to death, and the one who's still alive is the winner. This example is one of a lot, but it can tell us how slaves were treated before Islam and what their value was. After Islam, slaves restored their humanity. Islam told people that they have a unified root. Thus, there is no superiority of a master above a slave or race above race. And Prophet Muhammad said, all mankind is from Adam and Eve. An Arab has no superiority over an Arab, nor an Arab has any superiority over an Arab. Also, a white has no superiority over a black, nor a black has any superiority over a white, except by pity and good action. Furthermore, Islam stated the right of slaves to live a good living and ordered the masters to treat them kindly as brothers of humanity and protected them against any violence. The Prophet said, whoever kills his slave, we will kill him. And whoever mutilates his slave, we will mutilate him. And whoever neutered his slave, we will neuter them. Thus, Islam freed slaves spiritually and eliminated the norm of their subhumanity. After that, Islam moved in the direction of real liberation of slaves by two ways: emancipation, which is the voluntary liberation of slaves by masters, and Islam encouraged emancipation a lot and considered it as one of the most favorable deeds. For example, the Prophet said, whoever frees a Muslim slave, Allah will save all the parts of his body from the fire, as he has freed the body parts of the slave. The second method is contract, which is granting freedom to the slave if he requested it in exchange for a sum of money is given to his master. And masters cannot refuse contracts. Not only this, but government offering money for whoever wants to free himself in order to help him. In Quran chapter 24, Allah said, those who are in your possession ask for a deed of emancipation. Execute the deed of emancipation with them. As we have seen, Islam used these two ways to free slaves gradually. And now we return to our earlier question. Why gradually? Why there is no a definitive text? To answer this question, we have to mention a real example. Hundreds of thousands of the slaves who were freed by Abraham Lincoln's decision during the American Civil War died from diseases and hunger after being liberated because they couldn't adapt to the new life and the job opportunities were not sufficient for them. In addition to this, many of the freed slaves returned to their old masters, asked them to accept them as the slaves again. Therefore, the liberation for those slaves was a sentence of death because it was sudden. And Abraham Lincoln himself, or the great emancipator as they call him, said, in my judgment, gradual and not sudden emancipation is better to all. That is, the United States ought to cooperate with any state which may adopt a gradual abolition of slavery. In conclusion, it seems from aforementioned that Islam made the better system to eliminate slavery. Whether people follow the system or not, Islam is not responsible for people's deeds. Islam was clear. Islam said, this is a slavery. I hate it. And this is the, the system that humanity have to follow to eliminate it. Finally, some people may say that slaves were treated very badly in some Islamic periods. They are right. However, the fact that some Muslims drink alcohol does not mean that Islam asked people to drink alcohol, but the opposite is the truth. Thanks for listening and see you later.